How's it
you?
going? Good, good. How are you?
Everything good here as well. How is everything there with you guys?
Yeah, good. We got a bit of sun today in Scotland for the first time of the year, so we're happy.
Oh, so that's where the sun went because we have none in Lisbon at the moment.
All right.
It's good for a change, I guess. So
Yeah,
anyway,
cheers. It's went back to being grey already. So
yeah. you know, good things sometimes never last that much anyway, or that long. So And before we talk about Zenith, let's talk about the tour you guys did with Slipknot in December. How did those shows go for you guys?
that was just surreal. Because we obviously all grew up listening to Slipknot, and they heavily influenced our music when we first started writing music, and even now we're writing music now. So just being on tour with them is just, it's so surreal. That's the word I keep using when people ask, but it's true. It just didn't feel real, and it felt like it was over so quickly. But yeah, it's such an honor to be asked to be on tour with them, and yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Did you guys end up learning anything by seeing, Slipknot, how they work and everything? You guys kept anything that you guys can apply to Bleed From Within?
Oh, for sure, man. We watched the set like every single night, man. We were out there after our show, and we're taking notes for sure. It's just like things they do on stage and the way they structure their set lists, and yeah, it's so inspiring. Still, even though they've been a band for over 20 years, so it's crazy.
Yeah. And you guys have a US tour soon with Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine. I saw that tour, a few days ago or a week or something here in Portugal. Was awesome. Are you guys looking forward for that tour as well?
Yeah, can't wait, man. It's we always love touring the US, and it's cool to be on tour with Bullet Trivium and August Burns Red because we've toured with all three of those bands separately. So we're already friends with everyone in the band and the crew. So it's just like going on tour with all your mates. So like the camaraderie is already there because we already know everyone. So it'll just be super easy because that sometimes that's the hardest part of a new tour when you don't know people and you're getting to know people over the next few weeks. But we already know everyone, so it's just going to be easy and fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a big party every
Yeah,
night.
pretty much, pretty much.
And let's talk about Zenith. When did you guys start working on the songs for this album?
Pretty much straight after Shrine came out. Ali, our drummer, he's also our manager, and he's quite good at cracking the whip with writing and getting us straight back on it. And we had to write most of it on tour. Same with Shrine, like I'd be on the bus and festivals, like after the show, just like writing stuff in the back lounge and stuff. So it's it's the same as Shrine in the fact that we've written it in loads of different places. We've written it at home, we've written it on tour in loads of different countries. But yeah, it's usually like year and a half, 2 year process. But it's always stressful, but fun and creative, and because it's hard to get all five of us on board with ideas.
Yeah.
But if I can write a song that the four other guys in my band like, then I've won. I've succeeded.
And when you listen to the songs, you probably remember the riffs or the melodies, but you can pinpoint to where you were when you came up with the idea first.
Yeah, like some of the songs are actually named after, well, not the final song names, but the pre-production demo names we had. They're actually, some of them are named after like where they were written. God Complex, the song we just put out last week, that used to be called Red Flag because it was written in the backstage room of a venue in America, which was called Red Flag. So
It's always nice. And, you said it's a long process. Those ideas, do they change much, throughout the writing? I mean, you have an idea, you probably keep it on a hard drive or on the cloud, but then you guys get together. Those ideas change much, when you guys start, putting everything together?
yeah, for sure. Like some songs different than others. Sometimes like nothing changes, but mostly a lot of things change when we all get together because we're five guys with really strong opinions, and everyone likes to make their opinion heard. So it can be quite a struggle getting everyone to sort of agree. But I think that's what makes us sound the way we do. Is having the five inputs. So Yeah, they do change quite a bit. Usually just like taking stuff out. Like I think it's better to write too much and then trim it down rather than not having enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last two or three albums, I think we're really working on trying to only have things in the song if they're necessary,
Yeah.
and not just having things just for the sake of it.
When you have, everybody in the band has a strong opinion, which of the guys is the most stubborn? If
Well,
there's one.
I think everyone would probably say me, but I'd say Ali. Like me and Ali, we've been friends for a long time. We've been writing music together for a long time. So the two of us kind of butt heads quite a lot during the writing process because we're really like we have really strong opinions and we like to fight for them. But we know that it doesn't affect our friendship. Like it's for the good of the music, and I think these arguments got sort of help. We never fall out over it.
Yeah. But are you guys, I know bands, Portuguese bands, and, they tend to actually, some of them take it personal when, a guy in the band who has more experience or something is more opinionated and he says, like, I want to do in this way. Can you guys manage that balance? Never get it or never take it personal when someone says, like, it's not a good idea. I prefer it like this.
Yeah, for sure, man. We've known each other for a long, long time, and we're all really good friends. So we know how to speak to each other, and everyone knows that it's not personal. And we can go for a pint after an argument and never fight. Like it's never anything serious. But yeah, like I said, it's probably a good thing that we go through these because the songs wouldn't sound the way they do if we didn't.
Yeah. And did it ever happen? Let's say, you came up with an idea. Someone said, like, I don't like it. I would prefer to be like this or to sound like this. And in the end, they go back to your original idea because it actually sounded better then.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing is to admit that you were wrong in the first. But yeah, I've definitely had to do that a few times. Been like, oh yeah. Once you hear everything mixed and together with vocals and that, you're like, oh yeah, okay, you were right, I was wrong.
But it's like must feel good in a way to say, like, I had a gut feeling that the idea was really good from the beginning.
Yeah. I hate to say I told you, but
So you say a lot, I told you so, or you keep that to yourself.
that's but as much as I'd like to.
And, on this record, you have a few guests. Obviously, Brand Daler from Mastodon, big name on the song Immortal Desire. How did that came about? He's not playing drums, he's singing, for those who are not aware yet, because he sings as well in Mastodon, obviously. How did that came about to have him on the record?
So we've always been massive Mastodon fans and we've always loved his voice, but we were on the Headbangers boat with Lamb of God, the cruise they did a couple of years ago, and Mastodon were also on it. And we noticed that during one of our sets, the Bran was watching the set side stage, and he came up and spoke to a few of us after, and he's like, "Oh, my son is a big fan of Bleed from Within." So I was like, I thought I'd come check you guys out, and we got chatting and stuff, and then just like fast forward to like the next year and we're writing the album, we're like, man, we should ask Brian to do it. Like, do you think he would do it? And I think Scott just reached out to him and yeah, he was up for it. And I think it was maybe the next day, the next couple of days, he sent back his recording and like a photo of him recording, and we're like, that's fucking so cool, man. So we were all like pretty taken aback to hear his voice on one of our songs. So it's quite different as well. Like, and people probably wouldn't expect him because he's obviously known as a drummer more than he is a vocalist, but his voice is insane. So it's so cool to hear that on one of our songs.
Yeah. And he's such a great guy, actually. He's very down to earth. I met him a few times, throughout the years. And he always been very funny. Sometimes I couldn't tell if he was being, real or just, banter, whatever it was. I have I have a photo signed by him from, many, many years ago. He played in a festival. I'm a photographer as well. And, I had a picture of him and I asked him to sign. And he signed something like, I love you. Do you love me?
It's totally our type of humor. Like
Yeah.
we used to watch the Killswitch Engage DVD when we were younger, and he's in that getting interviewed, and we just thought he was the funniest guy in the world. So
Yeah.
like, get with him for a bit as well.
He's a great guy. He's great drummer. He's a great singer as well. He's a great guy. Obviously, you have a few more guests on this record. You got Josh Middleton from Silos. He's on the record as well. He's not the only one. When it comes to guests, how do you guys approach the situation? When you feel a song needs, an extra voice or an extra guitar solo, so to say, and you already have someone in mind, how does normally that works for you guys?
As far as like the guest solos and the music side, it's usually just like, man, I want a guitarist that I love, that I look up to, that I want to play like. I want them to play on our album and just see what they would do with this section. Because I'm not, I don't see myself as much of a lead player. Like I don't know scales or music theory or anything like that. So I find it super hard to write solos. I just kind of write stuff that feels good to play or like just sounds good to me. I don't know what key it's in or whatever, but I feel like I need to put a lot into it. Whereas like guys like Rabia, who's playing on the album, and Wes and Vogue, who played on the last album, it's like these guys just know their way around the fretboard and they can just make insane sounding solos, like stuff I could never do. And it's like stuff I want to try and play. And like one day, maybe I will be able to play it properly. But yeah, I think a lot of people don't know that we have like guest solos and stuff, and they think
Yeah.
it's me. Like, dude, no, that's not me. I can't play that. But,
You know, I,
but
I I used to play guitar, and when I hear something, it's not in the right key. You know, no one ever explained me what the hell that is. Where is the right key? What is it? Tell me. It's like when a singer is singing, it's not on the right key. I don't know what that is. Someone explain that to me so I can understand, so I can apply that when I'm playing guitar or something. I don't know. I don't
if
know.
it's good, just go for it. There's no rules. No rules.
And obviously, you guys have been making music for over 20 years. And you guys have been evolving, each record after each tour. Is there still any boundaries that you guys are afraid or you guys don't want to cross musically, or you feel that's a thing of the past now?
That's definitely a thing of the past. I think I don't feel restricted in any way when we're writing. I feel like every album is a opportunity to just explore like stuff, just stuff you've always wanted to try. And I don't think we are scared to try anything that's like wildly different. But at the same time, like we want to write music that we enjoy and music that reflects what we listen to. So if we're not going to write like a hip hop album because none of us are really big hip hop fans, but if we are, then maybe we would think about like including that sort of music. But we're not. So, but like the bagpipes stuff that's on In Place Your Halo,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of like traditional Scottish bands, and it's like music that I enjoy watching and listening to. It's not just like a gimmick or let's try that because we're Scottish or whatever. It's like want to incorporate our like culture into the music as well.
Yeah. And that was a big surprise, obviously, when the single came out and you hear those bagpipes. And how it was, you just felt like the song asked for it. It was just, here is an opportunity to, put something different that sounds good. That was you guys just felt it was the right song to have like a bagpipe playing in a, melody and stuff there on the song.
Yeah, it came about. It was actually around New Year's, and I was watching a marching band playing and had bagpipers and snare drummers and stuff, and a lot of the songs are in the same sort of tempo. and I noticed that that tempo I already had a riff that was like that sort of feel and that speed and tempo. So I was like, man, that's so perfect that that just happens to be the Scottish marching band tempo. So I was like, man, that'd be so cool if I could try and work that riff. So the riff that's before the bagpipe section, that's the riff I'm talking about. And I was like, man, that would just work so well just going into a bagpipe section, and it did. So a lot of people are like stoked on it.
Who played the bagpipes?
Yeah, it's a guy called Scott Wood. He's from Glasgow. I think he plays in a lot of Scottish traditional bands. It's his first time playing on a metal song, but we got to meet him and a couple other guys. They came on stage with us at the Hydro, it's the arena in Glasgow, and we played there with Slipknot, and so it was cool to sort of come full circle with it and meet the guy who played on it, and the other bagpiper who came on stage was the guy in the music video.
Yeah.
So it was to have like all those guys on stage with us.
Yeah. When it comes to, surprises, obviously you guys are Scottish, bagpipes, probably people would think would be, very natural thing, but probably, I don't know. That song just felt right. I remember AC/DC having it, the bagpipes on a song, and they're Australian, but it just, I don't know why people don't take chances more on those traditional instruments in music, especially in metal music, because it just blends well with a heavy sound. It's
We avoided it for a long time. It's something we wanted to do for a long time, but we thought, oh, people are just gonna be like, oh, Korn did that, like Jonathan Davis done it, like you're just copying Korn or whatever. So to make sure that when the time came to do it, it felt unique to us, and we weren't just doing it for the sake of it or doing it because someone else done it. So
yeah. Well, I mean, if someone could do it, and has the right to, it's like you guys, because you're from
we get free pass.
because like Jonathan Davis is American, AC/DC, they are Australian. And, hello, Scottish band, they don't feel like they ripping anything off. If anything, the other ones did it anyway. But, I think it's a great song, and it's live. You guys going to play that on tour live? You're going to have a backtrack on it because it's a touchy subject for a lot of people these days when bands use backtracks of sorts. Are you guys going to do it?
Yeah, we've already done it with backtrack. We can't afford to take two bagpipers and two snare drummers on like every single show, but we'll do it when we can. Like we'll probably do it every Glasgow show, probably do it at big festivals and stuff, like when we can, when we have the space. But yeah, the only reason it's on backing track is because there's no space on the bus for 4 extra people or even two, and it's expensive, man.
Yeah. And you guys obviously have the album is coming out soon. You guys, after the summer, you guys have an European tour, September, October. You're playing Portugal on October 3rd. For those who never watched Bleed From Within live, they live in a cave, they have never been on YouTube, they have never saw you guys. What would you say for someone, what can they expect from a live Bleed From Within show?
A lot of energy, a lot of hair, and a lot of riffs.
And with a lot of hair and touring, being on a bus, how do you guys take care of the hair so well?
I'm not giving out my secrets on the internet. No way.
I used to have long hair and I had to cut it because, it was just so much work. I couldn't.
It's a pain in the arse, but, we get by.
Yeah. And so you guys, well, I mean, if you care enough for your hair, it's fine. I don't think, for me, it took a lot of time, after, have a shower, have to dry it, have to brush it, use conditioner and all that stuff. It would take me almost an hour at least to get ready. And
It's,
you
it's a
know,
daily, it's a daily struggle.
I think there are worse things to do with time anyway. So there could be. And, after that tour, you guys are going to be busy till the end of the year. Next year, what are the plans? More touring?
Yeah, hope so. Nothing set in stone yet, but there is sort of festivals being talked about, and yeah, we'll probably start writing again. To be honest, I like to take a bit of a break after an album's come out for a bit, but I think I'll start getting itchy fingers, and I want to start writing again in the not too distant future. So
It's always important to have like something to fall back on, so to say. If a tour doesn't happen, you guys at least will be busy creating something that could come out, and as a backup plan, so to say. Is that probably the frame of mind you guys are in? If we're not touring, maybe we should be preparing music.
yeah, there's always something to do. There's always something, whether that be music videos or creating content or guitar playthroughs or whatever. Like, there's always something that we can be doing. So right now, because we're preparing for the album, even though we've not had any shows since December and not going away till next month, so just been doing music videos, preparing like pre-orders, packages, and promoting the album, and yeah, there's loads of stuff to be done.
And before a tour, let's say the tour you guys are going to do with Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine, how long normally does how long normally you guys need to prepare for that tour? For rehearsals, all that. How long normally does it take for you guys to get ready for a tour like that?
I think from the moment that you get the offer is when the prep starts, because you have to organise travel and visas and hotels and like your crew, merch, everything like that. So sort of from the moment that you get the offer in, so it's like months, like it could be a year. But as far as like us preparing, it's usually just like a week or two before we'll decide on the set and rehearse it maybe for 2 or 3 days before the tour starts. Um, but it always takes a few shows to sort of get into the swing of the set list, or
Yeah.
sometimes after the first couple shows you'll change things in the set list, and then it's only like maybe a week into a tour where you properly get into the swing of it.
Yeah. And when you guys do headline shows, what is for you the ideal length of a set? Because I see fans complaining if a band plays like an hour or an hour and 15 minutes, they say it's too short. But if a band plays 2 hours, or let's say Dream Theater play 3 hours, some might say it's too long. For you and for the music you guys make, what do you think it's the ideal length of a set list of a show?
I'd say like for us, an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half tops. It's mostly to do with Scott's voice, because if you're doing a long tour, if it's a headline tour, it's usually quite a long tour, and we don't want to put too much of a strain on Scott's voice. So you need, because it's a longer set, he's obviously singing more, and if you need days off for his voice to recover, because the last thing you want to do is have to like pull shows because his voice is pulling out. So yeah, you need to think about stuff like that, like just spacing out days off and making sure the set's not too long if the tour's pretty long, so that we can actually perform.
Yeah, and drink plenty of tea as well.
Yeah, Scott's got all these potions and remedies that I don't understand, and ginger and honey tea. Yeah,
They,
I don't
they,
need.
they, they actually work. I used to do, broadcasts, and, there was like an herbal tea, like a proper tea for the voice. And it really worked. It wasn't ginger or anything. It was something more smooth, but it actually did work. It did help a lot. And, whoever came up with that, props to to the person. It's a great help. Right. Thank you very much for your time, and all the best for Bleed From Within and Zenith. See you guys in Lisbon, October 3rd. It's I'm looking forward to see you guys and see all that hair flowing around on stage. All right.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Have a great day, and see you in October. All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.